Hey there, race fans. It's Race Day Top 5 with me, Frank 5. The first of many road course races. Got it all started in the Sunshine State today. So many comers and goers, so many twists and turns, so many bangs, so much action. But for the second week in a row, we have a first-time winner in the NASCAR Cup Series and the beginning of a future in NASCAR. Number 1, Christopher Bell has scored his first NASCAR Cup Series victory, winning the O'Reilly Auto Parts 253 at the Daytona International Speedway Road Course today, winning it over Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Kurt Busch, and Brad Keselowski. Christopher Bell, we all know, is one of the future stars of our sport. Of course, over the offseason, left Levine Family Racing after they shut down and transitioned over to Joe Gibbs Racing to drive the number 20 car to fill the void that Eric Jones left when he went over to Richard Petty Motorsports. Christopher Bell, we are all known for him being really good on the mile-and-a-half tracks and the dirt racers because he grew up dirt racing and of course, mile-and-a-half tracks that are kind of old and everything. You can hang it high, wide, and handsome on the outside lane where he loves to run best like Kyle Larson does. But I really did not expect Christopher Bell's first NASCAR win to be on a road course. He's won on a road course before, but I didn't expect it to be in the Cup Series. I mean, I didn't expect him to win the Cup Series on a road course first before winning a dirt race or even a mile-and-a-half track, but well-deserved. I mean, he ran in the top 10 pretty much the entire race. The second stage, and particularly the final stage, Christopher Bell showed his strength on road courses and how much speed he's got in this car. Of course, this is a big year for Christopher Bell to finally join the Joe Gibbs organization in the Cup Series full-time and show that he is one of their future stars down the road. Of course, you know, when Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., and Kyle Busch all step away from the sport as NASCAR drivers, Christopher Bell will be the man to basically carry the torch for Joe Gibbs Racing until their new crop of drivers come up later in the upcoming years. But Christopher Bell ran a great race today, ran in the top 5 a lot today. He didn't put a foot wrong. He did a great job today running the road course, pretty much like a pro. He had a couple restarts late in the going where he was in the middle of the pack on fresher tires, and we're wondering, does he have the time to get to the front? He was held up by Kurt Busch late in the race, and he got by him with about 5 laps to go, and it literally took him 4 laps to the white flag lap to get by Joey Logano, who was on a different strategy, staying out on older tires. Bell pulled right by him, and he never looked back. He just pulled away on those fresher tires. I mean, that's just an unbelievable performance by Christopher Bell and his new crew chief, Adam Stevens, who was Kyle Busch's crew chief. So for Adam Stevens to get a win with his new driver in Christopher Bell and get off to a fresh start with a new driver, not being paired up with Kyle Busch, this is big for the 20 team. Remember, the 20 team, they didn't make the playoffs last year with Eric Jones. They made it the previous 2 years when Jones won the Daytona night race in July and the Southern 500 in 2019. But last year, the 20 team, they struggled. So having Adam Stevens come over and work with Christopher Bell, who is one of our future stars of the sport, is big. And it basically shows that the future for Joe Gibbs Racing is bright with this kid, and pairing him with a veteran crew chief, a guy who's won 2 Cup championships, all with Kyle Busch. This is big for this team, and this now puts them in the playoffs for 2021. There are some tracks in the playoffs that might favor Christopher Bell, particularly he runs well at Bristol. He runs pretty well at Las Vegas. Yeah, he's pretty good at Darlington. I mean, could we see Christopher Bell win another race later this year? I wouldn't be shocked because this kid is very talented. And, you know, the last couple of years, everybody's been saying, oh, Eric Jones was the future of Joe Gibbs Racing. Well, he didn't live up to the expectations. He's now with Richard Petty Motorsports. And now we have Christopher Bell in, which we pretty much knew after the 2019 Xfinity season that this guy may replace Eric Jones in the 20 car sooner or later, which now he's in the 20 car, and he's brought the 20 car back to victory lane for the first time since Eric Jones went in the Southern 500 in 2019. So congratulations to Christopher Bell and the whole Raheem team. They are officially locked into the 2021 playoffs. Number 2, Joey Logano on the older tires late in the going, ran the top 10 the entire day, had a very good race car, looking to bounce back from getting wrecked in the lead in the last lap of the Daytona 500 last week. He ran in the top 5 all day. He's a great road course racer. He only has 1 win to show for it on Watkins Glen in 2015. But Joey Logano stayed up there a lot of the day. And I like the gamble that he and his crew chief, Paul Wolf, took late in the going to stay out on older tires when there was some weather in the area, just like a little sprinkle shower. Didn't have a long delay. And he stayed on those older tires, and a couple of restarts that we had kind of helped him and other guys that stayed on older tires because they didn't get a lot of laps on those tires when we kept having those cautions, and was able to work in Logano's hands and get a solid top 3 podium finish in the second place. Great bounce back from last week for Joey Logano. He'll get to victory lane in the next coming weeks. But also, there was talks today about him and Brad Keselowski. Have they made amends after their incident at the end of the Daytona 500 last week? I think Joey's pretty satisfied with where they are. Brad, maybe not so much, but they did talk this morning. I don't know how the talk went. They didn't really give us the down low about everything, and the drivers haven't publicly said about how they feel right now, but I'm sure they'll make amends. And both of them got great results today. They did a phenomenal job. So it was Joey Logano basically carried Penske and the Ford banner today because he was pretty much the top 5 all day long. Number 3, driver recap for Chase Elliott. We had the best car. We led the most laps. We won stage 1. We didn't get the result that we deserved. Yes, stage 1 was just perfect for Elliott. He dominated the whole thing. He ended up winning the stage, as I mentioned, led laps in the second stage. Didn't win that. Denny Hamlin won stage 2, but in the beginning of stage 3, Elliott got the lead back from Christopher Bell, who basically followed in the tracks of Elliott for the most part, and probably that's how Christopher Bell learned what to do to win this race. Learn from the road course king right now. And Elliott looked to be in position to win the race, but of course, late race caution for some sprinkles, forced some drivers to come in to put on some fresh rubber. We restarted in the middle of the pack. We made some contact with guys. We got out in the grass a little bit on one of the restarts. We get pushed out by Corey LaJoie. We were able to get back on the track. We got all the way up to 10th. We knocked into LaJoie, which he kind of deserved for pushing us off the track a little bit. And Elliott worked his way up to 5th and looked to be on his way to maybe running down the 22 of Logano and battling Bell for the lead. But with 5 laps to go in turn 6, Elliott gets punted from behind by Denny Hamlin. And we have to settle for a 21st place finish. Elliott did admit he made some mistakes, which, you know, he's being mature about saying, I made some mistakes, I need to make amends for it. But, I mean, Denny Hamlin, how many times can you take out Chase Elliott of a chance of a win or a good finish? How many times, Denny Hamlin? This is the 4th time you've done this to Chase Elliott. Enough is enough. Stop it. I'm still proud of Elliott. We had a great car. We'll just rebound next week. I mean, we did finish 2nd for the Daytona 500, so I'm still satisfied with that result. I mean, we had a great car today. He'll win road course races this year. I mean, we've got 6 more to go. He may win the rest of them, but something Elliott was also looking for today was to be the first driver since Jeff Gordon to win 6 consecutive road course races in a row. I wanted that, but we can get it. We can start the streak again at the next road course event, which isn't until May, and that's Circuit of the Americas, a new facility that we're going to. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, but we did show speed. We're still one of the best cars in NASCAR right now, and we're still the king of road courses. No matter what the result says today, Elliott was dominant today. He had a great car, and we're still going to have a really good season, no doubt about it. Number 4, so many comebacks today out of a lot of drivers. How about Kurt Busch? Finished 4th. In the beginning of the 3rd stage, he was leading the race, and in the International Horseshoe, he misses a braking point and goes right through the grass. And I thought he was going to tear up the front splitter of his car. It dug in so hard, but thankfully it didn't damage his car that badly. They were able to keep the car clean. He did fall back to 27th, but he stayed out late in the going with Joey Logano and some of the other guys on older tires and made the most of it at the very end and got a nice 4th place finish out of it. A great rebound from his wreck at Daytona with everybody else last week in the lap 14 pileup. Just a great comeback for Kurt Busch, a guy that we expect to make the playoffs this year. And then Brad Keselowski. I can't count how many issues that guy had today. I mean, locking up the left front tire, trying to get by somebody on the front chicane and having to pit for a flat tire, taking his car through the grass at times, spinning around more than once. One of them was courtesy of Kurt Busch. And yet, Brad Keselowski rebounded to finish 5th. He's the only one of our NASCAR champions that still hasn't won on a road course yet. But I got a feeling he will soon, but what a great comeback today for Brad Keselowski. Him and Kurt Busch, they did a great job. And also our Daytona 500 winner, Michael McDowell, had a flat tire before we took the green flag today. Even though he didn't tell his team on the radio, I've got a flat tire, we're going to be in trouble here, because he went deep into turn 1 on the first corner at the beginning of the race, and he actually dug his right front nose into the grass, but thankfully didn't do any damage, and he had to play catch-up for most of the day, and he got back to finish a nice 8th-place finish. So a great bounce back and a nice start to the season for our Daytona 500 winner. First time he's ever had back-to-back top 10 finishes, so kudos to Michael McDowell. And A.J. Allmendinger making his first start of the season for Colleague Racing and the Cup Series, of course, running for Xfinity Championship this year. He was in the top 5 at one point today, then he had a cut tire late, and yet he bounced back to finish 7th. I mean, we all know he's a great road course racer, but I mean, to pass all those guys and get back to 7th, that's impressive by Allmendinger. He's a great guy. I mean, we listened to his radio today. His owner, Chris Rice, our managing director, he's something else. He and Allmendinger are so funny to listen to on the radio. It was crazy. And number 5, these road course races, folks, they're can't miss events. They're so much fun to watch. I mean, the races this week were crazy. The truck race was crazy Friday night, running in the rain early on, and then it dried up late, and it was crazy with all the comers and goers beating and banging left and right. Yesterday's Xfinity race was crazy. We had a lot of comers and goers in that one. So far, these road course races, I mean, everybody's talked about we want more short tracks. Well, we've got a lot of short tracks this year. Now people have been saying we want more road courses. Well, you got them now, folks. And so far, you're getting your money's worth watching these races. They're just so much fun to watch. You know, even if your driver has a good result or a bad result or is caught up in an incident that they didn't deserve to be in, these road course races are still fun to watch because you see so much action, so much chaos, just a lot of, I mean, I could list anything. I mean, we had sprinkles of rain on the racetrack in the final stage. We had guys on different tire strategies. Some of them paid off, some of them didn't. That's road course racing. And that's racing in general, but it's road course racing at a new level, folks. The future for road course racing is skyrocketing. It is just, it's fun right now. It really is. It really is. I mean, for Elliott fans, Christopher Bell fans, Martin Truex Jr. fans, Denny Hamlin fans, Joey Logano fans, anybody that's a fan of their driver who's really good on a road course, you got to be looking forward to all the road course events that we're going to be having in 2021, folks. Or we're in for a special treat. So up next is the last race of the first triple header for races in Florida. We'll be off to Homestead Miami Speedway, which really was supposed to be today's race, but because road course at Daytona replaced the California Auto Club race because of California's COVID restrictions right now, we will be in Homestead next week for the last race of the triple header to start off the season in the Sunshine State of Florida. Then we'll be off to the West Coast for the 2 races out there in Vegas and Phoenix right after that. So what will happen this upcoming weekend? Will Christopher Bell be able to carry over the win from his first career win today over to next week? Will Kyle Larson, a track where he's run at really well in the past, will he be a contender for the win? Will Chase Elliott be able to win and make up for the mistakes he made today? Will anybody get up there? Will Martin Truex Jr.? Will Denny Hamlin? Will Kevin Harvick? Will Brad Keselowski? Will Ryan Blaney? Anybody. Homestead's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and we had some good racing there last year, so we shall see what happens. So subscribe, like, congrats to Christopher Bell and the whole Joe Gibbs number 20 team. Congratulations on your first career win, Christopher. I'm sure the first of many. We're in for a treat already, folks. 2021 is already off to a wild, crazy, but fun start. Until then, have a great week.